In this unit circle survival guide, we'll find the exact value of secant of 420 degrees using the S.A.R.C method. So here's a breakdown of the S.A.R.C method. S.A.R.C is just an acronym so that you remember each step to make sure that you get an accurate answer. And it really helps you keep all your information organized. So let's look quickly at each of the steps. S stands for sketch the angle, so we'll sketch the terminal side of the angle. A helps you think A.S.T.C, which is an acronym so that you can decide which trig functions are positive in each quadrant, and then you'll know if your answer should be positive or negative. R is for reference angle, and then the corresponding special right triangle and coordinates. And then once you have the coordinates, you can calculate. That's your final step. So we'll do this to find the secant of 420 degrees. And let's start by sketching our angle. So 420 degrees is a positive angle. That means we're rotating in the counterclockwise direction. And we should also notice that this is more than one rotation. And so it's going to be beneficial to find a coterminal angle. That'll make it a lot easier to sketch. And so coterminal simply means same terminal side. Okay, and all we have to do to find a coterminal angle is subtract one rotation, or 360 degrees. So we have 420 minus 360, and so 60 degrees is going to be an angle that is coterminal to 420 degrees. All right, and hopefully you see that's much easier to sketch because we know here's 0 and here's 90, so 60 degrees must fall right here. And so this is the terminal side for 60 degrees, and if you drew it with an extra rotation, it would also be the terminal side for 420 degrees. Okay, now that we have our angle sketched and we see it's in quadrant 1, we're ready for step 2, where we think A.S.T.C. Now, we start working our way around to think all students take classes, and this will tell us which trig functions are positive in each quadrant. I love an angle in quadrant 1 because the A means that they are all positive. So let's go ahead and make a note. Our answer is going to be positive because our angle's in the first quadrant. But let's work around in case your angle ever falls into one of the others. S is in quadrant 2, so sine and cosecant are positive. All the rest are negative. T goes in quadrant 3, so tangent and cotangent are positive there. And C goes in quadrant 4. Cosine and secant are the only ones positive in quadrant 4. All right, but again, our angle fell in quadrant 1, where all the trig functions are positive, and so we know our final answer is positive. Now we're ready to find our reference triangle and coordinates. So we need to find a reference angle. The reference angle is simply the amount of rotation from the terminal side to the x-axis. And so that's here on our drawing in step 1. And luckily, we already know that we have 60 as a coterminal angle. And so it's easy to see that that is the measurement for our reference angle. So that means we're working with a 60, 30, 90 special right triangle. Okay, and from our background knowledge of those, and we see that shorter horizontal leg and that longer vertical leg, we know that the coordinates that go with this triangle are 1/2 for the x and square root of 3 over 2 for the y. And now that we have our coordinates, we can calculate our value for secant of 420 degrees. Now remember that the secant of an angle in the unit circle is just going to be 1 over x because secant is the reciprocal of cosine. And we know cosine on the unit circle is just the x coordinate. Okay, and this is going to be a pretty easy calculation. Our x coordinate is 1/2, and we know 1 over 1/2, that's just going to flip that bottom fraction, and our value will be 2. So don't forget we had determined that this will be a positive answer in step 2, so the secant of 420 degrees must be positive 2. And that's how you can find the exact value using the S.A.R.C method. Be sure to check the video description for a link to more worked examples using this method. And I'll also post a link to a playlist that has help for all the basic unit circle skills. So if you had something in here where you wanted to go into a little bit more depth on that skill, check out that playlist as well. Good luck with your exact values, and thanks so much for watching.